Every night at exactly 11:42 p.m., a city bus in Chicago would stop at a bus stop where no one was supposed to be waiting. No scheduled passengers. No nearby houses. Just an empty road, and a streetlight that flickered like it was trying to remember something. Yet the driver always opened the door. And every night, someone got on. But the strangest part? No one else on the route had ever seen that passenger. For almost 20 years, Daniel Carter had driven the Route 27 night bus. Night routes were quiet. Most passengers were nurses finishing shifts, bartenders heading home, or the occasional traveler who missed the last train. Daniel liked the silence. He liked the rhythm of it. Stop. Doors open. Doors close. Drive. Night after night, the same route, the same streets, the same glowing windows in the dark. But there was one stop. Maple Street. A stop that technically wasn't even in use anymore. Years ago the city moved the route 2 blocks over. Yet for some reason, Daniel still stopped there. Every single night. One Thursday night, a college student named Lena boarded the bus after a late study session. The bus was almost empty. Just Lena, a tired nurse, and an older man sitting near the back. As the bus drove deeper into the quiet neighborhoods, Lena noticed something strange. The bus slowed near a dark corner. There was no bus stop sign. No bench. No shelter. Nothing. Yet the bus pulled over. The doors opened. Daniel waited. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. Then he closed the door and kept driving. Lena leaned forward. Was someone supposed to get on? Daniel didn't look back. He simply said, sometimes. The next night Lena happened to catch the same bus again. She didn't plan it. But when the bus approached that same street, she watched carefully. 11:42 p.m. The bus stopped. The doors opened. And this time, Lena saw someone step inside. A man. Tall. Wearing an old gray coat. His face calm, almost peaceful. He nodded to Daniel. Daniel nodded back. The man sat down in the back. But something about him felt off. Not frightening. Just quiet. Like he carried the weight of another time. The bus continued its route. 5 stops later the man stood up. Lena expected him to press the stop button. But he didn't. The bus slowed anyway. The doors opened. The man stepped off, disappearing into the dark. But here's the strange part. The tired nurse sitting near Lena leaned over and whispered. Who were you looking at? Lena frowned. The guy that just got off. The nurse looked confused. There was no one there. The next night Lena boarded again. And this time she asked Daniel directly. Who is the man that gets on at Maple Street? Daniel didn't answer immediately. Instead he drove another block. Finally he said quietly. Someone I promised to wait for. Lena felt a chill. What do you mean? Daniel sighed. Then he told her the story. 10 years earlier, on a freezing December night, Daniel had been driving the same route. But that night something went wrong. Traffic was bad. Passengers were loud. Daniel was running late. When he reached Maple Street, he saw a man running toward the bus stop. The man waved. But Daniel checked the time. He was already 2 minutes behind schedule. So he did what the rulebook said. He kept driving. In the mirror, he saw the man slow down. Then stop. Then disappear behind the bus. Daniel told himself it wasn't a big deal. Another bus would come. But later that night, he heard the news on the radio. A man had been hit by a car while crossing Maple Street. Witnesses said he had been running after a bus. Daniel pulled the bus over that night and just sat there. Because he knew. He knew exactly which bus it was. The next evening, Daniel reached Maple Street again. And for the first time, he stopped. The street was empty. But something told him to wait. So he opened the doors. And after a few seconds, a man stepped on. The same gray coat. The same calm expression. Daniel froze. But the man simply nodded, like he always had. And sat in the back. Daniel drove the rest of the route without saying a word. Every night since then, Daniel said quietly, "I stop. 11:42. Open the door." And he gets on. Lena stared at him. "You mean, a ghost?" Daniel shrugged slightly. "I don't know what he is. But I know one thing. He was trying to catch my bus. And I didn't wait. So now, I do." Weeks passed. Lena kept riding the late bus. And every night, she saw the same man get on. Same gray coat. Same calm nod. Until one night, he did something different. Instead of sitting in the back, he walked to the front of the bus. And spoke softly. "Thank you for waiting." Daniel's hands tightened on the steering wheel. For the first time in 10 years. The man smiled. Then he stepped off the bus. But this time, when the doors closed, Daniel felt something strange. The weight he'd carried for a decade was suddenly gone. The next night, 11:42 p.m. Daniel stopped at Maple Street. He opened the doors. And waited. 5 seconds. 10 seconds. 20 seconds. But no one came. The street was quiet. The flickering streetlight finally went dark. And for the first time in 10 years, Daniel closed the door. And drove on. Because sometimes, the people we wait for aren't just passengers. Sometimes they're forgiveness.